What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on No Man's Sky. However, this is part of the new update 1.11, I believe, is the update number, I hope. And this is part of the new patch where there's two new, but three total game modes. The survival one apparently introduces more challenging survival experiences by limiting resources and making things more dangerous, yada yada yada. Creative is more of, well, as the name implies, you kind of just go nuts and can do whatever. You have unlimited health, no resource costs, blah 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 blah. Now, it is important to note trophies do not unlock in creative. Makes total sense, but you know. And then normal is kind of, obviously, since there's a last save, this is what we've been playing on. So I'm just going to keep going on normal because why not? Okay, so this is the screen that you're greeted with after the game loads. Now, this does say 1.10. I really thought it was 1.11. So there may have been a hotfix patch right after this or something, but the update notes really didn't change much. So there's a lot going on in this update. It's the foundation update that's basically going to restructure the building framework for the future updates for the game to come. But it also adds a lot of its own features, like, I don't know, base building, which I am super excited to hear about. Creative mode, we already talked about that for briefly. You can now buy your own freighters, which is awesome, and store your ships and freighters and trade and blah 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 blah. Space combat's been improved with larger space battles, newer ship tech and mechanics. Survival mode we mentioned before. Freighter bases, you can expand your freighter with its own crew and its own base internally in certain sections. There are sections, it's not like you can just do it with whatever, but there's kind of like a already limited established base within the freighter, and then that lets you kind of use the base building mechanics to do whatever you want in that little space. At least to the extent of the building mechanics. They've improved visuals by adding motion blur, texture streaming, temporal AI, stuff like that to kind of clean everything up, make it look a little better. They've improved the UI with a quick access menu and more stackable things, which is awesome. There's also been a number of gameplay improvements, richer resource trees, better waypoint system, blah 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 blah. So here's a note. We had to regenerate the universe. Your in-game location may be adjusted as a result. Your overall progress will be unaffected. Okay, so I wasn't sure how they were going to do this, and I was going to leave the system I was in anyway to go kind of do a restart, like look for a new system kind of thing. But apparently they regenerated the whole thing, so that's cool. There's a couple of little things that's the overall bigger point, if you will. But one of the... Oh, sorry. I thought that ship looked a little different than I thought. I was like, what is that? So one thing is, now that my quest marker thing has gone away, if you had pinned resources or something like that, you can now hit the D-pad, the left button, and it'll bring up and hide your HUD. So that's fun. Now you can also hit down on your D-pad when you're, well, apparently when you're not in your ship, because obviously that opens the galactic map. And you can do quick stuff like toggle your torch, charge your life support, charge your mining lasers, you know, anything that's not charged, basically, it'll come up. So one of the big reasons that that's a cool deal is shields. And hyperdrives, apparently. Wait, do I actually don't have... Yeah, there it is. Oh, I have no fuel. Okay, it wasn't saying I have no fuel in the hyperdrive, it was saying I have no fuel to refuel it with. Oh, I see. Wait, what's going on here? I can't pull up. Huh, hold on a second. What's going on? I've got something weird going on with my controls here. There we go. That's better. I must have been within a certain, like, tractor beam distance. But there is... I highly encourage any of you, if you're really curious about the, Oh, there we go. That's going to take some getting used to. So I'm used to hitting down, but if you're flying now, you can toggle between charge your hyperdrive in the galaxy map. That's gonna take me a minute.
Orbital station coordinates received.
Okay. So this should be our next Atlas interface. So since we've technically already been here, let's kind of move along a little bit. Now I don't have an upgraded... Ooh, this is a good little clip away. We're gonna take a minute. So let's go like so and see what's going on. Now I may not actually cut this out because it'll give me some time to do a little talking. One of the things that I highly encourage anybody that's ever so slightly curious about some of the changes to read the changelog, because there's a lot. I actually sat down, I had a different episode, if you're seeing this episode, which you should be, I had a different episode planned, and it was already rendered and everything, and I thought when they announced, ooh, that's a cool looking ship! Okay, that's new. Oh wait, battle detected. Well, I guess we're gonna get a crash course. System conflict detected, freighters being targeted, blah 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 blah. Okay, I need to find... Pretty sure these are pirates, I hope. Oh, they got health bars now. That's cool. Okay, that's... Anybody else? Anybody else? Boom! Take that. Freighter signal detected. Can I, like, level out here? Maybe. Land in lead freighter and speak to the commander. Oh! So, I like this effect, by the way. It was really easy for me to figure out because I didn't know how they were changing some of this stuff, but things that have like a blue trail seem to be non-hostile, and the pirates had a red one. So that's pretty interesting. Because it was really easy to figure out without any kind of like, any kind of like HUD thing or whatever. What was going on. By the way, you can kind of see it down in my left corner of the screen where one of my screens is red. You'd see it more when we were actually able to fly around. That's actually a quick little indicator of when you can and cannot use your pulse drive. If that screen is red or blinking red or whatever, it means you're in some kind of space where you can't use your pulse drive. If it's not, then you're free to go. So this is kind of our first look at internal freighters, innards of the freighter. Now when you get a freighter, from what I've seen, this is basically what it's going to look like, and then when you get into this kind of a section here is where you're in your buildable. Now obviously this is not mine, so I doubt I can actually go through and, you know, build in this person's freighter. I mean, that just seems like an invasion of privacy. But yeah, so you're basically in certain spaces like these. I don't know what this doesn't really seem like it's the same space. But in certain parts of the ship you can actually rebuild. Yeah, this doesn't look buildable to me. So there's certain parts that you could, if it was your own freighter though, you can go through and rebuild stuff and blah 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 blah. Ooh, an admiral. Ooh, this is cool. This is really cool. I'm super excited about this, by the way. I'm one of the few, apparently, that really was not that disappointed with the original game, so adding more stuff to the game is just icing on the cake to me. I'm just having fun. This is awesome. I'm super stoked. Especially the whole base building thing. That was like, oh. Alright, Admiral, what do you got for me, dude? Current Viking standing special relationship. Thank you, friend. You have my appreciation. Can I offer you a reward? Make offer. Okay. I really want to try this just because I want to see how much it's going to cost me. The being snarls at me when I enter. The warrior seems on edge, weary of being on high alert. Recognizing my ship, its eyes suddenly shine with gratitude, and it barks a loud battle cry, a victory cry celebrating the battle I have just won to save their ship. Sure, I'll take supplies. You get the supplies. Sweet. Chrysanite, 135 chrysanite, 135 platinum, 1 antimatter, 1 warp cell. Dude, you're like going all out for me. Thank you. Hello, I'm the captain of this freighter. I can help serve you in your travels for a price. I really don't feel like I have this much of the Vy'keen language learned. I mean, do I? Okay, the freighter captain gestures excitedly. They offer to sell you the freighter. Ownership of a freighter confers the following benefits. Access to the large inventory, access to a buildable base inside the freighter. I just want to see how much this is going to cost me. Because I'm scared. 7 million. I mean, to be quite honest, that's actually not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was expecting, you know, like 195 billion or, you know, like something stupid. I mean, I totally would buy that, but I don't actually have the money. Can I talk to any of these guys? Get words, maybe? No? What about this guy? There's a guy up there. He might be able to give me something. But yeah, this is really cool. This is really, really neat. I like this. I like it a lot. But yeah, there's a ton of little tweaks, visual stuff, audio stuff, stuff like the, whatchamacallit, nope, can't talk to him. All the different base building mechanics, the fact that you can hire people, that like you can do agricultural stuff that then produces more plants, and you can use those plants like we've seen in the main game, where, you're basically able to, like, get resources and all that stuff. You can take freighters, stock them with your stuff, sell stuff. Not warps, it's not sell stuff. You can basically, like, where you can warp stuff to your ship normally, when you're dealing with a freighter, you can also warp to, like, if you're on a planet far away, you can call your freighter and from your planet still warp materials and stuff to the freighter rather than you having to be within a certain distance. Okay, this is what I was talking about before, though. This screen right here is currently fine. And if it goes red, it means you can't do any kind of pulse jump at the moment.
Distress signal detected.
Local distress signal issued.
Hostile ships approaching.
Oh! Wow, okay. Oh, that's cool. It gives you like a beam thing, or a pulsing thing to show you which ship is being distressed. Yeah, see, like to my left right now, that screen is red. So I apparently can't do a pulse jump at the moment. Probably because I'm boosting, but you know. I think a pulse jump might be overkill for this kind of distance, so maybe it wouldn't be, I don't know. Guess I can't hit them yet. Come on. This is interesting though, because these freighters look different now. Does this mean I'm in range? I'm trying to be careful. Oh, ow. There's one. We got a decent amount of people going on here. Aw, crap. Just trying not to overheat it. Yeah, this is much better. Like, they said they did a lot of improvements to space combat and things. Just the visual feedback is a lot better. Like, you kind of have a better idea of who's doing what. Oh, wow. This is another thing. I like it. I like that. That is so much better. Right, come here. Wait, where's my lasers? What am I shooting at? Ow! Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? I can't see him! Alright.
Sentinel interceptors incoming.
Local distress signal issued. Hey, wait, whoa, what? Who's shooting it? Why? Why? Why you shoot me? Did I accidentally hit one of them? I must have hit one of them. Crud.
Hostile ships approaching.
Crap, man. I didn't mean to do that.
Technology recharge.
Dang it. We're gonna die. Pretty sure we're gonna die. Because I don't want to shoot them anymore. I don't want to blow them up, but they're just coming after me. Let's see if I can lose them in an asteroid field, maybe. No. Ow. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Seriously. Escape Sentinel ship. Raiding freighters. I can't boost any faster. Raiding freighters for cargo ship. Or for cargo. Escape Sentinel ships. Nabbit. I didn't really want to use the zinc, but let me get rid of the Sentinel. See if that'll do anything. Because the Sentinel's the yellow one. Let's see if that does anything. The one time I actually wish I had one of... Nope, that just made it worse. Okay, see, I don't get that. I don't know how to avoid this, because they can always just seem to catch up, unless I just don't have a good ship for outrunning things. Because that just seemed to make it worse. I'm tempted to just let them blow me up, because there's not really a whole lot of seeming use of escaping here. Or method of escape. Yeah, probably not. Not gonna happen. Well, I don't know what happened there. We live on a placid island of ignorance in the... I didn't get to read all that. Death by ship. Return to location. See, I'm a little confused about that one. I don't know how that happened. Because there was a point where, like, I couldn't tell where my lasers were hitting. And it must have been hitting a good guy or a freighter ship. So I'm not really sure how that works, because like I wasn't really trying to do that, and they're supposed to like target on stuff, not just shoot randomly. I'm not really sure how that works. Side note, this is probably going to be a little bit of a longer episode, mainly just because I'm trying to explore some of the new features without really running into stuff. This is kind of the goal. Okay, restoring lost inventory. Let's see if I get anything interesting out of these. Because they supposedly, you can tell density-wise, they changed the asteroids up quite a bit. But there's also some on-planet stuff I want to play around with. Like the fact that we're getting more iron and stuff, that's probably to contribute to shields, I imagine. Because the shield system needs iron and titanium and all that. Alright, let's try the scans. Planet base detected. Ooh! So that's one thing. You have to, where is it? Over that way. You basically have to find a habitable but abandoned kind of base, and then you can kind of build that into your own. It's not exactly like a Minecraft where it's like, oh, this looks like a good spot, I'm just going to start building here. Which I assume they did that because they initially talked about the reason that base building, I mean, this was back before the game even launched, they said that the reason they weren't really sure if they were going to do base building or not was because the way that the systems are handled is kind of like, if you leave the planet, it's like it suspends everything and kind of like unloads it type of thing, and so they weren't really sure if there was a way to keep it in play while you weren't there once you left, because there was nothing really stopping it from just unloading your base kind of thing. And I imagine this was the solution, was basically do it in a way where it's already established, so it already knows there's a thing there. So to keep that is what I'm thinking they were thinking. Alright, let's get up a little bit higher. I don't remember that altimeter being there. I mean, it may have been, but I just don't remember it being there before. This looks interesting. But one of the other things that is like kind of buried in the changelogs also mentions that they did some. That's part of why the universe had to regenerate. Is there's going to be like new biomes and some greater terrain differences and things like that, so that it doesn't all look quite so similar and familiar as some of the planets had been. Alright, let's see. Irradiated winds, limited sentinels, generous flora, average fauna. So that's not a bad place to set up shop. I mean, it is radioactive, but whatever. Oh, this is also the new thing, too. It shows their periodic table element when you scan elements, as opposed to just a symbol. What is that thing? Besides, huge! Okay, so that I don't know what that symbol is. That's new. What are you? Hazmat gauntlets required. Oh, that's pretty cool. There's also resource-related things that are tied to stuff, basically. Like, you have to have certain equipment. Now, ain't that cozy? Interesting. Alright. So let's see how this works, because we're basically starting off fresh, so I don't know how the base building thingamabob works. Reach our destination. Oh, there's also these cool little arrows now that show you the severity of your losing power things. So like right now we only have a 1 on our a biohazard type thing, but if you were in like a windstorm or something, you'd have like a 2 or a 3, you know, that kind of thing. Okay. Habitable base, interact. What is this thing? I kind of want to step in that, but it's not letting me. Previous base item cache. So this is another thing you can do for easily transporting your base. Like if you find a better planet, basically, you can pretty much dismantle everything, as far as I know, dump everything in this, and then when you get to your new base, you interact and it like restores everything. I don't think it rebuilds, but it'll give you the resources, is my understanding of it. Home planet registration mainframe. Base initialization complete. Construction terminal not found. Science terminal not found. Agricultural terminal not found. Weapons terminal not found. Construction terminal installation required for further base operations. Terminals and other necessary building modules can be constructed with the up button. Terminals must be staffed before they are operational. Specialist staff can be recruited in space stations. So why not? We're gonna claim it for now. Because I've talked before about like, oh, I want to find like a really cool color palette and all this kind of stuff, but to be quite honest, I don't know when that's gonna happen, and I don't really want to wait that long to start building a base and doing cool stuff and using the new updates. So, we're gonna get to building. So, this white ring looks to be your radius of your perimeter, if you will. So, available to build 6, 20 iron. Let's do more info. A standard straight corridor module for connecting rooms. Okay. So you can change with your arrow keys, change set, so I'm in structures. There's... Actually, can we do this from inside so that my environmental stuff isn't just, like, depleting the whole time? Ooh. And let's see if I can use this. Base terminus, interact teleporter. What does this do? Teleporter unavailable. No remote terminus found. Terminus detection, wavelength online. Teleporters allow instantaneous travel between space stations and own bases. You must own a base before you can teleport to it. Your base terminus will only activate once you have teleported to it from a space station. That is freaking awesome. So basically, you're getting to the actual sandboxiness of go mine a bunch of stuff, come back, dump it in your base, or come back to a terminus, go offload it, whatever. And all the walls look replaceable except for these main ones on the main core. So, room parts. We have window, which is 30 iron, 1 glass. Glass is craft products and inventory slot. Okay, that's interesting. Structure, room part. I'm reading this wrong. Door, there it is. Access ramp, ladder, window. Okay, structure, foundation. The base unit for all construction projects, providing a solid foundation for any structure can be anchored to all types of terrain. That's a little interesting because I don't really know what it would be useful for since we already have a foundation, unless you wanted to like move it, I guess. Cylindrical room, I imagine that's what this is. Your standard, so this is kind of like a Subnautica module-based building, which is, or Osiris is another one that does it like this, which is cool. Tech. Now this is something interesting. We don't have to, they changed a lot of the terrain generation. There aren't as many buildings and there aren't any more scanners because now you can craft them. So this is a signal booster, which is essentially the same thing that we had before, where you would look for colonial outposts and all that kind of stuff where you used a bypass chip. Now you make a signal booster. Now I don't know if you have to make a new one every time, or if it's just a make one and keep using bypass chips on it. That I'm not sure. Communication station. A terminal for the composition and transmission of messages to other travelers. So this is kind of the soapstone from Dark Souls of No Man's Sky. You could place these down, leave a message, and it's visible to other players when they arrive on the planet. And this is a buildable save point for managing your progress, so if you're like out in the middle of nowhere and you just want to save it because you want to quit, you can make one of those. So that's cool. You have your specialist terminals, a research station tailored to the needs of builders and equipped with architectural and engineering design software. So there's a lot more blueprints. If you've watched the changelog update video, you'll have seen a lot more blueprints than this. And you can see the little dots next to this where there's supposed to be things. And then we're back to room parts. Now there is another interesting aspect to this UI that I'm looking at. We have L2 for delete and color mode. So if you hold L2, you can delete or you can switch and paint things. What? That I did not know, and that is really freaking awesome. That's pretty cool. I think I like that one the best. I mean, go figure. Who would have thunk it? Oh, that's cool. It actually changes the color of it. I mean, go figure. It's the color. I think that's... Wait. Do you have to hit the button? Or does it just do it automatically? Okay, you have to hit the button. But still, that is pretty cool. You can actually paint your bases now. What? This is so cool. Okay, now the one thing I'm not sure about...
Radiation protection. Stabilizing.
Let's see. Let's just build a little bit, shall we? Structure. I don't have glass. Let me see how that works. Oh, this is new. Trophium. A rare element that is released from the incapacitated engines of defeated starships. That's cool. Okay, we've got the copper, got the plutonium. Oh, and it tells you the number, right? I like this. This is quite a few giant steps in the right direction for continuing the game's life cycle and stuff. This is really some cool stuff. I'm thrilled. I really am. Like I said before, I really didn't have any problems with the way it was before anyway. where a lot of people did. I don't really understand. I've mentioned before I didn't really understand some of the negativity because it was like it didn't really shock me all that much. You know, some people were like false advertising and all that, and I was like, no. So I don't know if I'm just the minority or what, but didn't have a problem with the main game. So all of these new features and polish and stuff that it's just making it better. I could not be happier. I'm just thrilled. They just took a game I liked and made it a whole heck of a lot better, so we're good to go, in my opinion. But yeah, I love all of this stuff. This is some really cool stuff. I do like the ability to stack... Oh, you know what? Let's actually try that. So, in theory... How do I do that? It said you could stack more than one thing. Or is that just with certain elements, maybe? Oh, maybe that's with items. That might just be with items. Like, if you have a bunch of these, you can stack them, or plates, as opposed to elements. That might be the caveat there. Which would make sense. Let's see. Granite. Or no. Grantine. That's not granite. That's something new. A light metal alloy... traded throughout the galactic outer edge, often used in the interiors of trading shuttles to reduce weight as they ascend from planets with high gravitational fields. So, I don't see... It may be like one of those blueprint things that you have to get, but I'm not seeing anything on making glass. So I wonder if that's a... Oh, what is this? Oh, they changed the icons, so that's a cooldown icon. Fires in it, so that's a damage icon still. That's a defense rating. Huh, so they changed the cooldown. That's cool. Get it? That's cool. But so for now, since I don't have... Oh, now that is kind of cool. I did see this in the update video, but I wasn't sure if they were sticking with it or not, that it's basically just a one-button click. It's not like a building process. Okay, I would need more iron to build another room. That's awesome, though. I'm so excited. Now, one thing I don't know about is if I take my ship up to the station in order to teleport back down, I don't know if that ends up meaning that I need to bring my ship back down, or if my ship's already down. I'm not really sure how that works. Did I scan that guy? Okay, where was that tech thing? There it is. Yeah, see, instead of just the red icon, you get the PU for plutonium and all that. Oh. What is that? It's a bearmadillo. Looks like a bear armadillo or something. That's why I called it that. It's a bearmadillo. So yeah, there's a lot going on in this update that I am super thrilled about. So excited. Pretty much for everything they did was all a good thing. Got that guy. Alright, what do you got for me? Advanced cooling theta. Gravitino ball. Photon cannon cooldown times are significantly reduced. That's a +3. Q. Build a cylindrical room. You can access the building. Okay, home building. And there's your home icon. Yeah, see, now there's a 3-arrowed thing on our hazard stuff. So that's another indicator of how strong the damage or danger is to you. The one thing I was going to look at, though... I got a little bit of time before we need to hot-foot it back into the base.
Radiation protection falling.
I was looking for something with iron. am I hitting? This thing? Wait, that's carbon. What am I shooting that needs iron? Oh, it's this stuff. I was like, wait a minute.
Radiation protection falling.
A little bit more. There we go. Should be more than enough to get us working a little bit. Let's see if we can get back here before we die. Woo!
Radiation protection stabilizing.
Okay, so now I can build a room. Boom. Sweet! Alright, now. Tech. Do I have... I don't have enough iron... Oh, I do for the signal booster. I do want to build one of those, I think. I might have enough for that. I don't know. Construction terminal. Let's build that. The construction terminal requires a skilled builder for operation. You can recruit builders in space stations. Okay, can I use it without the builder? No, I can't. And then it says space station detected. That's probably the main one for this system. Doesn't surprise me. Let's see. Tell me I have... Ah, I don't. Okay. I need more of those pillar things. I don't know if it's just me or not, but it seems like the range on my mining laser just went through the roof. I also need to figure out a way... I probably need a builder to do it. But I'd kind of like a way to... Can I put this outside? I can. So I'm going to place this... right... here. Now, so we have a signal booster, so I can interact with this. Signal scanner online. Planetary location beacons are responding. Shelter marker detection. All that's online. Habitable base. Drop pod. Colonial outpost. Resource deposit. So that one's new. So you actually can just... If you're on a planet that it didn't come up, you can actually just look for a habitable base. Drop pods, I think, are going to be for your suit upgrades. Still, Colonial Outpost we should probably look for. Resource Deposit wouldn't be bad. Let's do Colonial. Let's see if it finds anything. Manufacturing facility is over there. Now, what I'm curious about is, can I keep using this? Oh, I can! This is awesome. Now, just for kicks and giggles, let's see if it finds anything different or if it finds the same one. Didn't find anything different. So that's going to be one of those, I don't know if it's within a range thing. Let's look for a drop pod then, see what it does. Okay, it found one. And we kept both markers, it looks like. That's awesome. Yep, we kept both markers. Obviously, I don't really need to scan for a habitable base. Kinda already got one. Resource deposit detected. It's a good little clip away. Okay, so that's kind of cool that you can basically, you don't really need the bypass chips anymore. Now, I don't know if they don't exist anymore to where, like, I know you can make bypass chips, but I don't know if those default scanners exist anymore, or if you always have to make a signal booster. That part I'm a little bit unclear on. I think you just have to make a booster. I think that's kind of the thing, the way it goes now. Woo! But I'm not 100% sure on that point, so kind of bear that in mind. Now, theoretically, once we get to the station and talk to a builder and get him to come back with us, in theory, I should be able to just jump in the teleporter thing and go back to my own base. Okay, so we're at the station now, and I actually saw a couple of cool ships here. This one's way out of my price range. It was like 1.7 million or something. This one looks kind of cool too, though. I like it. It's a little bitty fighter. Warrior. Okay, now we're back to me not knowing what they're saying. That makes sense. I guess those are like quest-driven. Ooh, 2.7. 24 slots. How is that smaller than my ship, but it holds more? That doesn't make sense. I also want to confirm, if I can, another thing I read in the changelog. I think they said they removed the suit rooms from... Okay, let's pass 3. I think they said they removed the suit room, or suit upgrades from stations. So those aren't guaranteed anymore. Probably because now you can look directly for drop pods with your system scanner, I imagine. Or the signal booster. And you can see there was a teleporter thing there. So that if there isn't one over here or something, there's definitely still a teleportal in this, or teleporter. Been playing Dragon Quest Builders too much. Teleportal. Okay. So because he's got an icon above his head, I'm assuming he's a builder guy. There's also more people here. That's pretty cool. Captain Young. Recruit Bashi. Wait, are you Vy'keen? He doesn't even look Vy'keen. He is Vy'keen. Relax, I'm an armorer, not an assassin. Perhaps you have need of my skills. Do you have a base? Give me a terminal to work at, and I'll build you an arsenal that will shake the heavens. Okay, so he's weapons guy for the weapons terminal. Interloper. He's the head of the station, which is why I can't understand him. Interloper Death. Great. The warrior grabs at my multi-tool, stares at it dismissively, and then starts yapping straight into my face. The yaps turn into slow, hollow barks. It is unimpressed and dramatically so at that. Suddenly, a holographic catalog of armaments and attachments appear. The warrior opens its arms wide and embraces me. Alien sales traditions are a curious thing. Pay units for exosuit technology blueprints or multi-tool technology blueprints. I'm actually going to go with units. With exosuit. Only because I think there's some things like the hazmat gloves we might get, maybe, that I don't have. Or that. Radiation protection. They also said they removed the Atlas Pass 1 doors, which is where we went for the teleporter. And that's probably why. They probably removed... Oh, that's interesting. They probably removed the suit upgrade room and remove the Atlas Pass 1 restriction because you're going to need to be able to access the teleporter. Alright. My good friend, what luck for both of us. I am a specialist in construction in search of a new position. Have you established a planetary base? If so, give me a terminal to work at and I'll build you the foundations of an empire. The being grabs my hand and shakes it vigorously as I approach them. Their wide-set eyes fix me with a friendly gaze, and I am not surprised when they speak to me in my own language. Okay, there you go. So the people that are basically quest-related, where you have to be able to understand them, they know your language, not the other way around. Okay, so he's going to go to the base. I'm going to check here and see... I'm actually still looking for that other mineral for my multi-tool. I don't see it, though. Okay. So this is kind of convenient now, though, for selling things, because if you got bogged down, you could go back to your base, and then essentially you could basically just teleport. I keep saying teleportal now. Back up to your space station, your local space station here. Teleporter online. Teleport. Let's see how this works. Oh, that's kind of cool. They use the hyperspace animation thing. That's a neat idea. And since you have to tag which one is your home base, that's probably how they're connecting it, because you can only have one active home base, I imagine, at one time. So it's basically just going to link back to whichever one you most recently had set as your base of operations. Ooh, that's a rush. Okay, so we're back at our base. And I believe... Yes! Our guy's here. What you got for me, buddy? Fike Lauman, or something. I don't know how you say his name. I'll provide the blueprints for any construction item you need, but before you start running around the galaxy and search for resources, allow me to present you with this beacon blueprint. Build a beacon to mark your location, and you will be able to return there with ease. My builder is at their station poring over some arcane project of their own. I am delighted they joined my team. Their enthusiasm is infectious, and they have a wealth of ideas for the expansion of this base. But before we make a start on construction, they insist on improving my navigational capabilities. Beacons can be built using the up button and recolored to remind you of a particular location. Well, that's awesome. You're welcome. We wouldn't achieve much if you got yourself lost. That's probably very true. Voltaic cell and a carite sheet. Once activated, beacons provide a permanent navigational waypoint, facilitating repeat visits to specific locations. So that's kind of cool. We have one here, but I don't know if there would be a benefit in building one outside the base or not. Now, with him here, can I interact with the terminal at all? No. So let's see how this works. The spadonium I need to calibrate a science terminal's diagnostic sensors is extracted from cacti that live in barren environments. Provide me with some and I'll have this place ready for a scientist in no time. Already I felt the benefits of having help on hand, but there are limits to what my builder can achieve on their own. I have asked them to prepare the blueprints for a science terminal. The all-around knowledge of a scientist could bring would open up enormous possibilities. In return, I am asked with finding a supply of spadonium, an element used in the delicate diagnostic circuitry of the new workstation. Come back when I have the resources. So that's kind of cool. Remember, barren biomes, when you have the spadonium, the plans will be ready. One thing I meant to look up is, do I actually have the blueprints for the gloves for the hazmat stuff, or is that something I need to learn? That's something I need to learn, I guess. Okay. So, this is all really pretty awesomely awesome. Now, there's my ship. I was gonna say, where did my ship go? Okay, so my ship's here. That's good. Now, this one has zinc over here. Oh, that's a plant thing. That's not... Yeah, that's not a resource. I was like, why isn't that resource showing up? Oh, gee, that's why. Okay, so... Do I have any of these things not scanned? I do have that one not scanned. Seven species left. This is one of those planets I'll probably end up scanning all the animals on accident just because I'm, like, hanging out here. Okay. Oh, there's the zinc. Oh no, that's iron. Where's zinc? Here we go. Now, one thing that I thought was cool was with agricultural... Like, you can get an agricultural terminal and all that kind of stuff, and then you can actually plant plants and basically regrow them so that you can do stuff like this on your own, from your own environment. There's also, I don't have the blueprints for them yet apparently, I don't think, but there's also a new self-mining module thing that you can do. So like for this is a lot of emeralds, so because it's close to the base, you could throw a few of them down and it could like harvest while you're not around, and so on and whatnot, which I thought was a pretty cool idea, because there's been a couple of times we've passed like giant deposits of things and you're kind of like, good grief, how am I ever going to get all this? And it's like, well, you have the other thing do it for you. So we're going to have to look for this Spidonium, or whatever it's called. But this is running a little bit long, so I think we're going to wrap this episode up here. But there's a lot coming on this game that I'm really excited about. It's kind of a shot in the arm kind of thing, even though, like I said, I really wasn't one of the many that wasn't happy with it or whatever, so for me it was just like a double shot, because I was already having fun with it. One thing I will note is basically that I had mentioned this series going on hiatus or whatever with the advent of Final Fantasy 15 and stuff coming out, but I think I've actually managed to come up with a schedule that'll work, and I really won't be cutting any series, actually, so I don't think that'll happen at the moment. For now, anyways. I'm going to test it out for a little bit and make sure it's a doable schedule, but for the most part, I think it'll work. So, let's test out this handy-dandy. And you might be wondering, why am I putting these out here? The reason is because they don't need the base, so I don't want to occupy the base's space with things that it doesn't need, basically. That's pretty much it. So yeah, so now we can just save whenever we need to, which is awesome! So yeah, I think we're going to wrap things up here for this episode. In the meantime, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace!